Good morning, boomers. The voice of the blockchain here. Satoshi's big cousin, cryptography's finest. Champagne Crypto. Thanks for tuning in. Guys, today we're talking about why the Bitcoin price is falling. How long will it last? How low will it go? A bloodbath out there. Somebody call a medic. Blood spilled on the field. Soldiers losing limbs. Some amputees out there. Casualties of war. We send our condolences to the baby bear cubs out there. Today we're going to be talking about why the price continues to fall. How long will it last and how low will it go? Shout out to all the boomers out there holding the line out there, shooting at whatever moves. Rafterman, Lee Banky, Joey Alex, and the rest of the boomers worldwide. Make sure you're touching the buttons here during this crypto storm. Make sure you get to your shelters. Get to your shelters. There's an advisory out there. We're being attacked on the left and the right flank. The price keep going down. Shout out to Suave House, Roger Ripple, Brian, Rafterman, and the rest of the boomers out there. Today we're going to be talking about this Bitcoin price fall. How long will it last? How low will it go? No one knows. We're going to be giving our opinion and building with the crypto maniac brothers here in the population of the chat box. Make sure you're tuned in. This is a category 5 storm indeed, Roger Ripple. I see that. We're going to be talking about it. The crypto brothers are in the house here in the population of the chat box. We're not going anywhere. Crypto brothers looking like Spartans, ready to hold this crypto storm. Hold the line out there. We're not going anywhere. Shout out to Cliff Martin. Shout out to Suave House, Marlon Jones, Roger Ripple, Leonard, and the rest of the boomers worldwide. Let's look at the market, see how ill or healthy, depending how you spin it, things are looking indeed out there. Let me hit refresh, show you guys my screen, turn off these coins, kaboom it, and look at the market cap right now at 146 billion. The slimmers, we've seen it all year. Bitcoin dominance at 53.3. Now, I would expect Bitcoin's dominance to have increased here in this situation, probably more people moving out of the altcoins and into Bitcoin, but things are kind of holding the line there as far as Bitcoin dominance. We got Bitcoin now at $4,498, looking bad out there at 4,500. So has broken the support that we identified last week. Right now we're in a new zone, new waters where no crypto maniac has swam before, and definitely we are trying to hold the line as best we can. Today we're going to be talking about how long will this last and how low could it actually go, because now since we've broken the support line, we're going to have to readjust our targets out here and manage expectations out there worldwide so that we can hold off this battle and perhaps win the war. Shout out to Ahmed, Cliff Martin, Bronson Ryan, Suave House, Marlon Jones, and the rest of the boomers out here worldwide. We got Ripple has taken over Ethereum out there. We're going to be talking about this as well. A lot of people are speculating that this one is going to be a boomer. I think it smells like central banking, and this may be a Trojan horse right here, guys. We'll be talking about that. Ether looking slim at $133. Bitcoin Cash losing dominance out there at 234. This is after the Bitcoin Cash quarrel, the hash wars out there. We're going to be talking about that and how it may be playing a factor into the entire market price. Stellar moving up, moving up. This is Ripple's little cousin. I've had an eye on it. I told you I gave it a pass out there, and perhaps these are two Trojan horses here by the financial institutions. We're going to be looking at that. EOS at 371, losing weight out there. EOS, Litecoin, $33, getting hammered. You know, Litecoin is one of the bags, you know, that I had been speculating on, and it's stinky. It's stinky out there. You know, it's definitely not one I'm feeling comfortable with, but it is what it is. Let there be light. It's grayer than gray out there. Tether at 96 cents. That's interesting. Even the stable coins are losing value. I tell you, there's something going on with these stable coins. We're going to be talking about that as well. We got Cardano at 4 cents, getting hammered like the rest of the altcoin. Monero at $67, one of my favorites, slammed out there. Tron at 1 penny. Dash at 102. IOTA at 30 cents. Are there any winners out there, boomers? Only the stable coins. Sneaky stable coins. We're going to be talking about them. I think it's a factor that a lot of boomers online are not talking about. That this one may be the hidden hand out here. We're going to be talking about how that may play a factor here in the price dump. USD, DAA, Paxos, True USD. These are all stable coins. What are the big losers today? Bitcoin Cash falling off a cliff. Metaverse, Maker, Populous, ALF, Dentacoin, Eternity, Chainlink, Decentraland. Everything getting hammered out there worldwide as the rest of the boomers tune into this live broadcast. The crypto Spartans are in the house. Marlon Jones, I see you. Christy, Cliff Martin, Bronson, Cliff Martin, Lucian. Good morning, Queens races and the rest of the boomers out there. Told you guys have a masternode gun ready, stable coins and baby alts. Listen, let's talk about what we think, or at least what I think is going on. I jotted down a couple ideas here before I went online. Why is the Bitcoin price falling? How long will this last and how low will it go? Now, we do know what the mainstream narrative is, okay? The mainstream narrative here is that Bitcoin Cash is in a hash war with this fork, and it's casting a shadow of a doubt on Bitcoin, and it's generally impacting the Bitcoin price out there. We've been talking about that for some time. Now, the competing camps are whales, okay? Craig Wright and Roger Ver and these characters, they've been in the game for a while, okay? We know that they're Bitcoin whales, and the speculation is that the whales are now dumping their Bitcoin to fund this hash war. This is the mainstream narrative. Now, although I think that may be true, its impact, the hash war that's being sold to us, may be overestimated here by the population. And it may be overestimated by the mainstream media on purpose, okay? Looking at things from a macro perspective out here, Bitcoin boomers, crypto maniacs worldwide, I think that the fact is that Bitcoin itself already had a kaboom like no other. We can agree with that. You know, going from sub $100 to $20,000, I think that Bitcoin performed and had its major boom. Okay, that's not to say it's not going to boom again, but things need to equalize. The bottom line here, maybe some people may disagree, is that the altcoins haven't performed like some may have expected. Okay, you know, to expect to boom again, we need something else to lead other than Bitcoin. We saw a hint of this when Ethereum came into the game, made promises with the ICO, but as we could see, that just wasn't enough. There was a frenzy at one point with the ICO. There was more capital moving into the game, and some people thought that the next Bitcoin was going to be Ethereum, but that hasn't materialized. The scalability of Ether's just not there. Now, you name another coin on the market cap right now that has brought more capital in other than Bitcoin and Ethereum. The fact is that we have a lot of promises. We got 2,000 plus coins. Everybody's hooting and hollering about these baby altcoins, but none of them have been trailblazers and innovators as compared to Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin still leads the pack. So we can't expect another kaboom to occur just on the strength of Bitcoin. Bitcoin performed for us, and it continues to be a boomer. Right now, suffering some sort of a loss, but it's still very much higher than it was before. Now, Ether promised to be the next Bitcoin, and it didn't perform like Bitcoin performed. Okay, all the other coins, as much as I like them, EOS, Cardano, Litecoin, Monero, all these other coins, they're just ripples behind the wave that Bitcoin has created, the wake. So again, I think that the truth is there hasn't been that killer DApp. There hasn't been that killer coin that has brought extra people into the game, new retail investors. That's my personal opinion. Okay. Furthermore, okay, there could be market manipulation, okay? Bitcoin itself may be already compromised by financial institutions. That doesn't mean it may not boom again, okay? There's a saying in Wall Street, and this I got from a comment there on Reddit. We're going to be talking about this post. There's a saying, it says, there's a Wall Street saying that summarizes everything that we're trying to encapsulate here. When retail investors miss the train, they miss the train. When institutions miss the train, they bring the train back. Okay. And I believe that the financial institutions missed the Bitcoin boom train, and what they're trying to do is reset the clock. Kaboom to Rafter Man. I see your super chat there. May go to 3 to 4 cases, Rafter Man. Perspective, bullish, long run. Shout out to Rafter Man, always throwing his 2. I appreciate you. Thanks a lot out there. Let me go ahead and continue my stream of thought, and I'm going to go ahead and read some of the comments there in the population of the chat box and share, first of all, this article on Reddit, which really encapsulates something that I was talking about yesterday, okay, about Bakkt and these financial institutions may be manipulating the game. Let me read to you this post. It's linked down below. I found it informative, and I agree with most of this post. So this is written by a poster on Reddit. It's called Scott 2 triple or quadruple 88. Okay, so he says, just had a thought and was curious what everyone else thinks on this one. And we'll chime in. A lot of people, including himself, think it's very strange that Bitcoin is dumping while backed is right around the corner. We also know that institutional money is here. If you look at the chart, it becomes painfully obvious that they have been here a lot longer than most people realize. Here's the thing. What are banks, institutions good at? Making money. How do they do it? Forcibly making things cheap, then moon over it over and over again. Cycles, as professionals call it. Now, how would we gain mainstream adoption specifically for Bitcoin? Lord knows everyone has their own shill coin that has their own curve for how it will be adopted. But what about specifically Bitcoin? A lot of people would argue Bitcoin will eventually die off because it isn't feasible as a currency. What if, though, Bitcoin actually does become a store of value similar to gold, which I believe it already has? How would institutions make that happen? Q backed and then cue this price dump. Think about it, says this poster. If you were 50 years old and the only thing you knew about Bitcoin, if at all, was that it reached an astronomical high and burned a shitload of people who FOMO'd into it, trust factor is basically zero with retail money. Soon, however, it will be available en masse to the general public. What do you do as an institution wanting to make a shitload of money to not only bring back faith in Bitcoin, but make a shitload of money doing it? Reset it. And that's what I was talking about yesterday. So this is a few points. I don't want to read everything, but let's go through these points. They say that this is the gentleman's hypothesis and something I agree with. Destroy Bitcoin's price to shake out all the weak hands, not just some, all. Bring it down to a value where anyone can throw any amount at it and be satisfied with what they have accumulated. Introduce Bitcoin in mass to the general public via platforms like Backed, and then allow the price to start rising again, thus eventually starting a new parabolic movement up. There it is, guys. Read the rest of this post. I'm not going to read everything. It keeps going, and he talks about how he believes it's going to be the future. So I tend to agree with this. I think Bitcoin could be compromised already, and they may be driving the price down. And how? And we talked about this last week. First of all, let me shout out Marlon. I see your $2 there. It's shining at me out there, the blue. I appreciate you, Marlon. He says Gin and Vibe are the only alts with a working platform. That's not true. I mean, Steemit has a working platform. I don't know how true that is. Also, Augur has a working platform as well. So, that's not entirely true. But I know you're booming with those. Lucian says, and thanks for the 2. I appreciate you, Marlon. Lucian says, smooth. It depends for how long all coins are up. If you look back for 2 years, I agree with that as well out there, Lucian. Most, those blue chippers are still up if you look back 2 years. So that's what it is out there, boomers. How could they be manipulating the markets? I talked about the stable coins. Now there's been a recent surge of stable coins these past let's say 6 months. We've seen a bunch of new ones. And if you look, most of them are the ones that are holding the line right now. Look at these coins right here. USD, DAI, TrueSD, USD, Paxos. These coins here, they weren't around not too long ago. Okay. And I'm asking, how do these coins come into existence? Who made these coins? How are they able to, are they mineable? I mean, how were they created? How are these coins going to continue to be created? Now, my idea could be is that these are funny bunny counterfeit cryptos. They've been used to buy Bitcoin before, and now they're being dumped for actual real fiat so that they can manipulate the market via these stable coins. Smooth says, I lost all faith in Bitcoin's dropping like a Ponzi. I can't believe we're already at 43. There you go. Then perhaps this may not be the space for you. This right now, like I said before, we'll be separating the men from the mice here. The pits from the poodles, and the victims from the victors. So it is what it is, guys. If you're not a believer, there's no reason to stick around then. We'll be here because we're believers. I believe, how long will this last? It's going to be some time now. I think it's going to be some time now. Definitely the boom is not going to occur in December Q4, and this year or next month, nor do I believe it's going to happen in Q1. I do think that we're going to have to wait at least to the Bitcoin halving at 2020. This is going to take a little longer than expected. And that's okay. After the run-up that occurred, that could be understandable out there. Bronson, Marlon, D-Rock, the rest of the boomers I see out there in the population of the chat box. Bronson doesn't like Steem it, and everything's down. So everybody will be complaining about every coin. And that goes back to what I was actually saying. I mean, there's 2,000 altcoins, okay? And we're still arguing which altcoin is the one that has the community. It's not clearly definable. Bitcoin is leagues in front of all the altcoins. Bitcoin's going to stick around. Okay, it's gonna, once it hits its bottom, it's gonna stick around, and then again, it'll go back up. How fast? We don't know. Like I said, maybe we have to wait till the halving. Now, as far as these altcoins, there's 2,080 altcoins on the coin market cap. The majority of them, I would say over 90%, are garbage. The majority of are garbage, and their hands are being exposed right now. Okay, and then those that do have some sort of a working platform, that's cool and everything, but they haven't impacted the game like Bitcoin has. Okay, so they're not attracting any new retail investors. Those people that bought the bits, they're hodling, and those people, there's no new money in the game as far as the retail. So we're gonna have to wait for that. Queen's races, boom. Patience in the Bible means for long suffering. There you go, Queens. I see you. Astral says, Champagne, you're a moron. It's not about being a believer, but a trader and investor. God, most crypto YouTubers are thick as brick. Well, I've never even seen you before here, Astral. You're just coming in, dropping a comment, saying names. And, I appreciate your 2 cents. I happen to disagree with you. Have a nice day. Captain James says, this is their last stand, like a firework finale. This is a big get your attention tactic to make you sell. I'm laughing at these idiots. Same way the Rothschilds robbed the British after the war. Yes, and, that's what we've talked about here, that perhaps the markets have been manipulated. I just linked that Reddit article down below and talked about these stable coins. And perhaps you're right out there, Captain. Smooth says, Bitcoin falls to 1,000. It's no different than all those coins below 100. It would be a typical pump and dump. Okay. Lucian says, Champ, kick this Astro student troll. He dropped a comment, if that's his, if that's his opinion, let him, if he thinks that, let him drop the comment. Now, if he keeps trolling, maybe we'll kick him out, but, there's no reason, just because he disagrees with us, that's cool. I mean, I'm not offended if he doesn't disagree with me, if he doesn't agree with me, that's cool. Bitcoin and 10 years. Want to question Ripple? Speculation is hilarious. The speculation on Ripple is hilarious. I think that, those that really think that Ripple's going to come save everybody, I doubt it. That's not to say that for the short term that it may not spike. Hefe says, gotta have haters to be successful. Indeed. Now is not the time to panic, says Original Copy. No, it's not. It's the time to look at things from the macro perspective, from the long-term, long boom, and ask ourselves what's going on, how long will it last, and how low will it go? And that's a question now that I haven't addressed. How low will it go? Okay, because just last week I said that we should be in between the $5,000 and $6,000 pocket, and we broke that support fast. The knife is falling. So obviously that wasn't correct. And you can see the graph right now. We're falling off a cliff here. So, the price going lower, I can totally see that. I can totally see that. I can see us going under 4. I can see us going under 4. Worst case scenario, I mean, it can keep going lower, but it has to find the bottom. This thing has already been around for 10 plus years. And again, it's going to find its bottom, hold, and then it'll move back up. Now, as far as the other altcoins, I mean, I think that the majority of these 2,000 altcoins on the coin market caps are not going to make this storm. They're not going to make it through. Bitcoin will pull through. Bitcoin, check out 99 Bitcoins. I mean, it's, Bitcoin, how many times has Bitcoin died? So my concern here is not with the bits. My concern is with the altcoins and which ones are going to weather this storm. There's only going to be a few that rise out of the ash like a phoenix. Original Copy says, I don't know about under 4, but maybe. It's a possibility out there. I think that you got to brace for impact, and it's a possibility. And even if things go to 2,000, that will still be a net gain over the past couple of years with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin will still be a positive growth, even if it goes to 2,000 over the course of its a few year lifetime. So it still wouldn't be anything negative. Now, as opposed to the altcoins, I think that these altcoins are under fire. Like I was saying at the beginning of the broadcast, there is no altcoin that's comparable to Bitcoin as far as attracting retail investors, causing a frenzy out there. We hinted, the game hinted at Ethereum. Ethereum for a while, a lot of people had that trust in Ether. And, you know, there was a little run up with the ICOs or whatnot, and it performed well. You saw Ether go over 1,000. And now it's under fire and it's not scalable, and people are starting to question the rest of the altcoins. And I think that a lot of people are bailing. There's nothing else in the crypto market that's going to push it forward. So we need something other than Bitcoin to lead. Bitcoin already did its thing, and it's not going to go away. It is what it is. It gained most of its weight. What is the altcoin that's going to perform? Some say it's Cardano, some say it's EOS, some say it's Tron, so, you know, but it hasn't been clearly defined. And at this point, it's just a bunch of promises. Okay. While Bitcoin has been around, it's delivered. All these other coins haven't. And that's part of the problem, if you ask me. If you're just tuning in, it's the voice of the blockchain here, Satoshi's biggest cousin, cryptography's finest, your favorite YouTuber's favorite YouTuber. Bitcoin price is falling. Okay, we've been talking about some factors. Why? How long will it last? This could last a couple of months, or it could last to at least the next halving. We don't know. Okay, we're in brand new waters. We've dropped over almost $2,000 in a week. So that's what it is. How low will it go? Right now, we haven't found the bottom, and that's obvious. So in order to define a new resistance and support level, we would have to see the price kind of stabilize for some time now. I mean, we dropped under the support now. So, I mean, things the knife can continue to fall. The knife can continue to fall. That being said, I think that, you know, if you're a long gunner with Bitcoin, such as myself, you still got to be careful with trying to catch a falling knife, because what if this thing drops to 2,500? Okay, and holds 25 or 3,000 during most of 2019, and then runs up again right before the halving in 2020. And goes back to 15K. I mean, these things can happen in crypto. And again, I'm not concerned with the long-term viability of Bitcoin. I think it's already proved itself. What I'm questioning is which altcoin is going to be the one that attracts all the new retails. I mean, people already came into Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I mean, at one point was pennies on the dollar, and now it's thousands of dollars. So, I mean, it had its growth, and it's maintaining a majority of the growth that it earned. Now, again, with the altcoins, ETH is looking slim. Someone send a package over there to Vitalik. I've been saying it all year. And frankly, all these other coins are a bunch of hype. And for you guys saying Ripple and Stellar and all those, these things are going to be manipulated, guys. They are not mineable coins from my understanding. And once people educate themselves a little bit more as to what's going on with the bits, they're going to see the holes in these centralized coins like Ripple and Stellar. You could just look at them like companies at this point. I don't think they're cryptocurrencies. Perhaps maybe they end up booming, but they're not cryptos. These could be companies that could perform in the future, but definitely not in the category of cryptocurrency when it comes to my understanding. I see a comment there that says Monero. And that's a great point. I don't think Monero is going anywhere. I think it serves a demand that Bitcoin once did with its privacy and a decentralized system. Like I said, I think that Bitcoin could be already compromised by the financial institutions. That's not to say that they're not going to pump it later, because we already see that they're positioning with the backed. You see that they're positioning themselves with Fidelity. And this is probably the best thing that happened to the financial institutions, the dump in price, so that they can accumulate and then sell it back to retail investors once there's more regulation and once things become a little bit more mainstream. That's my personal opinion. Shout out to Marlon, Ahmed, Lucian, Chris Cantu, I see you. I haven't seen you in a minute there, Chris. Welcome back. He says the lights are dim. Indeed, the lights are dim. It's the stinkiest bag I hold out there, Chris. You know, I got a little nickel bag at least there of lights, and it's been a painful hold out there, and that's the truth. Rafterman says, watch Litecoin. Again, you know, Litecoin, you know, promised all this stuff, but, you know, it didn't. Litecoin is just like a Bitcoin type of knockoff, and, you know, there's probably a purpose for it. But again, what altcoin is the killer altcoin out here? You name it. Everybody has a different opinion as to what the killer altcoin is. And the fact that so many people can agree with the killer altcoin is reason enough for me to see that there is no killer altcoin at this moment. That's not to say that one of these coins won't become it. it in the future, but that hasn't manifested as of late. Smooth says Litecoin's dumping like crap. You're right. And I said it's Smooth. I mean, it's the stinkiest. It's a stinker. D-Rock says breaking news. DOW drops due to tech companies. Money is just shifting around. I'm not worried. Again, you know, Champagne, as far as the bits, I am actually not worried at all. I'm bracing for an impact of reality, you know, that things may be manipulated, the price may go down, but, you know, as far as like Bitcoin dying and it's like it's all over for the bits and everything's collapsing, like some people saying, when it comes to Bitcoin, absolutely not. There's, you know, no way. Now, when it comes to the altcoins, they look stinky right now. There is no altcoin. I don't know. At this point, I don't see which altcoin is the ones that are going to stay around, but it's probably going to be just a handful or less. But 2,080 altcoins right now, they're being exposed. Craig List says, yo, champ, thoughts on the U.S. Department launching probe into Bitcoin price rigging? Thoughts on that massive bull run last year? Was it all rigged? You know, I don't know. I don't think so. You know, but everybody has their own opinion. I don't know. I mean, you know, I don't work at exchanges. I don't have any, you know, backdoor contacts. So I don't know, Craig's. I don't know. Aces says Champagne Bitcoin resistance at 4650, 4700. Listen, guys, there is no clearly defined resistance or support at this moment. Okay, we just broke through the last support. Okay, right now we're in waters where no one swam before. The price could go down at 2,000. I don't know. Okay, the only thing that I could share with you is my personal long-term macro perspective, and the bits are not going anywhere. Okay, I'm gonna, you know, make sure you copy that. The bits are not going anywhere. What we're seeing here, it could be a massacre in the death of the majority of these altcoins because they're just not performing. I mean, yeah, like I said, which one is the killer altcoin? I mean, there's a lot of them that I like and some that I use frequently, but that's not to say that they're having the impact that Bitcoin had worldwide. Champ, I was calling sub 4,200 for months, and you said it wouldn't happen, and I was wrong. Yeah, you were wrong all year, Derek. You were wrong, and what didn't happen is the price didn't go under 5,800 for half of the year, like I said. As soon as things readjusted, I readjusted my targets as well. So let's see where things may go. I mean, right now, sub 4,200, like I said, right now we're in waters we swam before. We wake up tomorrow at 3,000, I won't even be surprised. Okay. Now, as far as a bull run, that's not going to happen until 2020, I think, guys, or until perhaps maybe there's more regulation. As much as I hate to say that, I know the normies want regulation, and maybe that'll bring more retail investors in. Like I said before, the fact here is that Bitcoin itself may already be compromised with the legacy suits sticking their hand into the game. That being said, don't sleep on the privacy coins for the extra long run out here. Monero, someone kept saying Monero, Monero, and I got to say, I agree. I think it was Bronson out there. Let me show your comment. For some reason, they were flagging you there, Bronson. He says, BTC lacks a lot of kisses, but she's a lovely lady. Her ass tastes like shot, but sometimes we need a whore. All right there, Bronson. Revolutionist says, smooth. If OMG drops below $1, I'll buy 500. Original Copy says, yeah, I already bought this morning. Okay. Astro Student says, are you ready to put your money where your mouth is? Copy. Okay. Ahmed says, my opinion, last year bull run was a test from institution to see how high this market could go. Now they surely that there is no ceiling, so they can crash it again, profit in history. Listen, I think that they missed the train out there in the last bull run, and then you'll see right when they try to get into the game, they put the futures in and they crash the market. So as soon as the futures got approved, that was at the height of the market. The next month, things went down. So it looks like as soon as the banks got into the game, the market crashed, and perhaps that is when they started manipulating the game. We don't know. And again, there's a comment there on that Reddit post that it says there's a Wall Street saying that summarizes what we're talking about here. It says, quote, when retail investors miss the train, they miss the train. When institutions miss the train, they bring the train back. And that may be what could be happening right now. They may be bringing the train back, trying to reset the Bitcoin clock and cause another artificial run up again. And how could they be doing that? Due in part by some of these stable coins that they may be using. They may be using these stable coins. privacy coins will make it. I agree, champ. I think for the long term, I think, you know, stuff like Monero is going to have its demand. Ricky's asking, bro, what about NPXS? I've never heard of that one. Again, you know, in my opinion, I think that the majority of these altcoins that people are shilling out here are going to fail. Okay. I think that the majority are going to fail out there. At this moment, there's only going to be a few that rise from the ashes. This happened also in the .com boom. There was a bunch of companies, a lot of them failed, and some and some of the first movers, like the Googles and the Amazon, ended up staying. So, you know, perhaps, you know, Bitcoin's one of those. We're getting wrecked, says the F. Indeed, it's a bloodbath out there. Why is the price falling? We've been talking about it. How long will it last? It could be as short as a couple of weeks and as long as all throughout 2019. How low will it go? It could keep going lower. At this point, it's a falling knife and it could keep going lower. Astro Student says, spot on. Banks' involvement spelled doom for Bitcoin and altcoins. And I've been saying this all year. I said, we don't need them. Everybody's cheering the banks' involvement into the game. And as soon as they come into the game and they're about to launch a platform next month, again, the market goes down. As soon as they got into the game with the futures, the next month, the market went down. So as much as people cheer it in the mainstream, I don't see how it positively impacts the price. Smooth says, why are you guys using plural form? There's only one Monero. The rest of privacy coins will go to zero. And that may be true. That may be true. You know, there's only going to be a few coins that actually rise from the ashes. So maybe 1 or 2 privacy coins, or maybe just 1. I mean, I don't see 10 privacy coins surviving the storm, you know, and that's fine. And you know, that's not to call any of these coins, you know, scams or anything like that. I think that, you know, just like regular businesses, the majority fail. And what we're seeing here is the majority of the altcoins eventually failing. The Revolutionist, I have been buying Cardano all the way down. Okay, you know, we feel for you. I know, you know, I haven't, you know. You know, I'm not convinced yet. I'm not convinced yet. You know, I like all the ideas with the altcoins, but right now I'm not convinced with the baby altcoins, and I've been saying it. You know, I'm not convinced. That's why, you know, I've been a Bitcoin maximalist. But again, everybody is entitled to their own move. Again, if you're just tuning in, I make sure you check out this article here, linked down below. It goes a lot with what I was talking about yesterday, as far as the perhaps some manipulation there with the markets. Read this on Reddit. So about Backed, it's linked down below. I'm not going to read it to you again, but some of the points they're saying that the institutions are trying to reset the clock, destroy Bitcoin's price to check out all the weak hands, not just some, all bring it down to a value where anyone can throw any amount in and be satisfied with what they've accumulated, introduce Bitcoin in mass to the general public via platforms such as Backed, allow the price to start rising again, thus eventually starting a new parabolic movement up. If that's true, it's going to take some time. It's not going to happen in a couple of months. I'll tell you that much. Smooth is saying the truth is that there's one Bitcoin, one Monero, and one Ethereum. He says stop shilling those stupid alternative coins. I mean, you know, people are going to do what they want to do, Smooth. I do agree with you that, you know, there's only a few top coins out there, you know, and that's already been proven to us here. You know, there's only one Bitcoin out there. Definitely, I agree with Monero. Ethereum, I don't know. You know, I don't know if Ethereum is going to rise from the ash out there. All the other coins, I wouldn't say, you know, stop shilling them and stuff like that. Some of them are good ideas, so I think they're worth exploring. Okay, if people don't explore these options, there's never going to be more innovation in the space. I mean, things need to lose in order for things to rise and gain. You know, there has to be competition. So I'm not mad at the competition. I think this only makes those coins that survive stronger. You know, that's what's made Bitcoin so strong, is that it's been able to survive so many of these storms for the past 10 years. Let's see some of these other coins if they're going to be able to do that. And obviously it looks like perhaps no. Bronson keeps saying Monero, and I agree that there's something there with Monero. I've been talking about it for a while. original copy said this is a good sign. And yeah, we got to shake out these bad hands. And I think that the majority of the bad coins that are worthless need to die out. Things need to equalize. We still haven't seen the bottom right now. We still haven't seen the bottom. It's been exposed to us once we dropped under 5,800 and we rapidly fell. I mean, we were holding that support that we had identified all year. We held it very nicely. And in the course of about 10 days, things, the knife just fell. And right now, the knife continues to fall. So how long will it last? We just don't know. How low will it go? It could go lower. So you need to brace for impact out there. Too many boomers are ready to quit. Must be time to buy, says out there. Yes, we may be witnessing some capitulation by some of the boomers out there. So, you know, that could be a sign, perhaps. Derek is saying there's no manipulation going on. I'll call this months in advance. There's just zero buying volume at these prices. Nothing crazy. You know, I agree that there's no more new buyers, you know, as far as the retail. Manipulation, you know, that's arguable, but again, there's no direct evidence. So, you know, we can argue back and forth unless you have evidence. It is what it is. Revolution is just hodling Cardano, Ripple, BitTube, and QuantStamp. And I'll tell you, I feel for you if you're not holding Bitcoin. I'm going to tell you guys, and I've been saying it every single day for months on end. I think, you know, all these other coins are cute, and some have cool ideas, and some may actually weather the storm, but the majority won't. And because of that, you know, I definitely ride that Bitcoin train. But let's see which coins will hodl the storm. I think we can all agree, or maybe some could agree, that the majority, these 2,000 coins, guys, look at the cryptocurrency market cap right now. It has 2,080 coins. 2,080 coins out there. You know, and we can't even agree here in the population of the chat box which is the killer altcoin. Some say it's this one, some say it's that one, but like we can't even come to a consensus out here. So that just shows to me that there is no killer altcoin. And right now everybody's just speculating. And because of that, Bitcoin has suffered. So Revolutionist has no faith in Bitcoin, ETH, Litecoin, or proof of work. We all just have to place our bets in HODL. Okay. I mean, you know, thanks for letting us know. I mean, I disagree with you. I think that proof of work has proved itself to be the system that has been the one that's surviving longer than any other system. But again, you know, let's see. Cardano is the killer app. I know you've been saying that, and you know, the idea seems great, you know, just like some of the other ideas from other coins. And I hope that it delivers, because I like the idea. I'm not saying that it's a garbage idea, that the team's bad. I think it's a great idea. It's a good team. But the fact is that no altcoin, forget about Cardano, no altcoin has delivered the boom that Bitcoin delivered in the past. So, you know, we just can't have Bitcoin pulling the cart the entire time. Bitcoin's doing all the work out here. It's been doing the work for 10 years. ETH did some of the work last year with, you know, the run up with these coins and the ICOs, but now there's regulation with that. And ETH has been exposed for scalability issues and whatnot. So, you know, I don't think ETH is pulling as much weight, or can pull as much weight, as Bitcoin has. Binance is the best alt, says Derek. We'll see. You know, that is arguable too, Derek. I mean, they printed that coin out of thin air as well. I mean, is that a pre-mined coin? How do you get more Binance? Who's the one that's regulating Binance? How's that coin work? You know, how is Binance produced? And at the end of the day, you know, I'm not convinced with Binance too. You know, they may run into problems in the future. You know, perhaps maybe regulators want to get on Binance. Who knows? I have no idea. And again, I don't have anything against it, but I'm not convinced. Right now, the only thing I'm convinced with at this moment, especially when bombs are being dropped overhead, is Bitcoin. And I've been saying this every single day. You know, have the majority of the bag in Bitcoin has always been my opinion, and then play with the other coins out there. And let's see. Queens is racking up on Neo, and Neo is another one that I like a lot. You know, it's one that you know, I've definitely been on the train with. You know, but it's not performing, and as long as the ontology was, you know, surpassed Neo for a second there. I don't know, you know, and Neo is also arguably centralized. They mix the supply of coins. No new ones will ever be created, only burned. Okay. I mean, who created those coins and who's in control of all the coins out there? There is no proof of work for the coins that were created out of thin air. I don't think that majority of people understand why proof of work has value. And again, I think until people really understand that concept, and maybe they never will. I mean, because people are rolling around with fiat currency in their pocket and they don't understand why it's valuable anyway, because it's not. And they've already fallen for the meme. So perhaps maybe I have too much faith in people's comprehension. People are getting wrecked listening to Shillers, says D-Rock. I'm hodl and waiting to see the bottom before I invest more. Still have my automatic purchases, but I won't play these dips. And yeah, I've said that. You know, you got to be careful, you know, trying to catch this falling knife out there. Although I'm a long-term boomer here with Bitcoin, you know, I wouldn't find it advisable to go ahead and make a major move as the knife is falling, because it could fall even lower before it goes back up. Nano says people want them some monopoly money. Indeed. CryptoZilla says, damn, no notice today. I don't know. You know, that happens out there, CryptoZilla. But welcome back to the population. Let me throw a bomb for you. 65 crypto maniacs watching. We've been streaming for about 41 minutes. I'll take a few more comments and questions. If you just tuning in, you guys could rewind and listen to the replay. But we talked about some of our personal opinion as to why the Bitcoin price is falling. And I can go ahead and recap for you guys. The mainstream narrative has been that this BCH hard fork has caused and casted a shadow of a doubt on crypto and the rest of the of Bitcoin's price. The competing camps are whales. So we have the Craig Wright camp and we got the Roger Ver camp. They say that they're whales and that they're dumping Bitcoin in order to fund the hash war. This is what the mainstream narrative has been saying. Now, this may be true, but this overall storyline, its overall impact may be being overestimated in my personal opinion. I think the bottom line here is that Bitcoin has already boomed, and expecting Bitcoin to continue to pull the cart along is kind of naive. We haven't seen an altcoin that's been comparable to Bitcoin as far as attracting new investors. Now, we saw a hint of this with Ethereum and its ICOs, but Ethereum never delivered like Bitcoin delivered in the past. Okay, what we could be seeing here is an altcoin massacre, a death of most altcoins out here. There's 2,080 altcoins right now, and I think we're going to be seeing a lot of them falling down right now. Okay. And then also, and this is speculation, again, there's no proof of this, obviously, market manipulation. I have this link down below, a Reddit article that very much mirrors some of the thoughts that I tend to agree with. It's linked, it's called So About Backed, excuse me. You know, you could argue that Bitcoin may be already compromised by financial institutions, but that doesn't mean that it will not boom again. I keep referring to this Wall Street saying that I'm reading here in the comments on Reddit. It says, when retail investors miss the train, they miss the train. When institutions miss the train, they bring it back. So perhaps maybe they're trying to reset the markets, manipulate it in order to pump it to retail buyers later via these platforms like Backed and Fidelity or whatnot. Again, there's no proof of this. This is just speculation. Okay. How long will this last? This could last a few weeks. It could last all of 2019. We don't know. Okay. How low could we go? This is obvious right now that we broke the support quickly that we identified last week, which was 5,000. And now we're in the 4,500 range. So things could drop under 4. Okay, so how low could it go? It could go lower. Okay, the 3,000 range is believable. Worst case scenario, it could keep even dropping until it finds its bottom out there before it, you know, comes back again. That's not to say that I'm not a long-term boomer with Bitcoin. I still believe that Bitcoin is the only true crypto that's actually held its value out here. It's the one that's really performed. It's the one that's actually weathered all the storms out there. These altcoins, on the other hand, you know, I'm not convinced with any of them right now, as much as I like so many of them. Like I said, I'm just all maximalist with BTC. Now, that's not to say that I'm not rooting for, you know, Cardano, EOS, Monero, the Dashaholics, the Digibytes. I mean, I like some of these projects out there, but are they going to be able to rise from the ash? We'll just have to see. CryptoZilla says, I think it's hilarious how non-crypto friends like to contact you on dip days. Oh, yeah, and they like to come here in the box too and trash talk. That's part of the game out there. You know, if you're not willing, like we had a guy just come in here, says, I'm a moron, and he said, you know, a couple things. I didn't even throw him out the box because, you know, let people say their things. You know, when things are down, some people are going to, you know, call you names or whatnot. And if you don't have some thick skin, you shouldn't be in this game to begin with out there. So I'm expecting it. I'm expecting it, the calls, a couple of the trolls showing up. And this is when the trolls are empowered. But, you know, it's all good, guys. Not a big deal. We'll see, you know, we'll see who's here for the long kaboom indeed. Camille says 680 US. I doubt that it'll go under 1,000, but I mean, it may continue to drop, but I doubt it. Ricky Adams is trying to shill another coin. Ricky, I'm going to give you strike 2 there. We don't care about NPXS. Never heard of it. And you've never been here in the population of the chat box. So, do it again and get thrown out. It's real simple. You know, have some respect out here. You know, add some value before you shill a coin that no one's heard of. Okay? Because you'll get called out. It's real simple. Bitcoin at 5,000, says Aces. Let's see. Wait for the next boom to silence them. You know, copy. You know how it is. I mean, you know, as far as Bitcoin, I continue to have all the faith in the bits that I've always had. This is just a storm that it has to weather. Now, like I said, I think the problem here is not really the bits. It's maybe the altcoins. Marlon says, yo, champ, remember these same trolls will be begging for Bitcoin when bull run returns. I know it, Marlon. We're not going anywhere. Champagne's here every morning. You know the deal. It could drop to 2,000. It could drop to 1,000. I may break a sweat, but my long-term confidence in the bits is there. You know, let's just see which coin is going to rise out of the ashes. Which altcoin is going to rise out of the ashes? Because Ether right now, I'll tell you, it's looking bad for ETH out there. It's looking bad for ETH. As much as I like ETH, and you know, I got a baggie on ETH, so you know, I feel like I'm entitled to trash talk ETH. It's looking bad out there. Queen's Racist says he was talking about Poon DX. I'm not into that right now, you know. Revolutionist likes Poon DX. Okay, you know. We barely even talk about that out here. Derek says only buy the coins that are holding up well during the bear market. That's a good point. D-Rock says, I remember everyone saying that they wish Bitcoin would go to under 4K and they'll take out a second mortgage. That's when Bitcoin was over 15K. Now they're running. Yeah, it's funny how everybody changes their tune when the storm starts to blow and we get under fire out there. You see how people start changing out there. Anyone into Hollow Chain? I think we've talked about that before. I think it was shilled somewhere, but I don't have anything to say about it. Marlon says, they've been saying, champ, please give me some Bitcoin when we're doing a giveaway. They should tell... You should tell them, be mad and get your own, that you aren't their crypto daddy. Yeah, no, they want the handouts. And then as soon as things go bad, they want to talk trash. It's okay, man. 48 minutes on the live stream. 67 crypto maniacs watching. I appreciate all you boomers out here, even on a down market out here. Champagne never thought we'd be leading the crypto maniacs out here to victory. Okay. Bottom line is that the bits are higher than they were when we got into the game. So it's a net positive for us out here, and for the majority of the boomers have been rocking with us since the beginning. We definitely are under fire, and you know, you got to take some L's in the game. You got to be able to lose a few limbs out there, step on a landmine, take a couple shots, draw some blood out there. If you haven't been injured or received a scar on the battlefield, then you're not a cryptomaniac soldier. Ariel is not a believer. He thinks Bitcoin and Litecoin will not be more than $1 by next year. You see, it's people like that I understand if you're not a believer in crypto, but let's talk about this actually. For these people that are saying it's not going to be worth anything, let's talk about the worst case scenario. Let's say that Bitcoin's trash, okay, and that it becomes zero, like some people say. I'll tell you this much: even in the worst case scenario of all that you can think of, in the future, Bitcoin will be a collectible because it's the first digital currency. Okay, and the blockchain will remain. So even if it's not used in an application, even if it's not used for a store of value, I think it's going to be a collectible at the very, very minimal. So it will never be less than $1, in my opinion. Lucian says, my first bloodbath was last December. Now I'm relaxed. In 2 years, this will be history forgotten. I agree out there, Lucian. I agree. Nano says, wait until the Lightning Network is up and running. Litecoin could be used as a means of exchange, especially if the US dollar tanks. Okay. Kaboom to Marlon. Thank you for the $10 out there, Marlon. I appreciate you. Marlon, he's been rocking with me here in the population of the chat box for a long time. Marlon's one of our original boomers, and he's been doing videos right now. Marlon's out there on the fringes. He's messing with the baby alts, with these master nodes that majority of people haven't heard of, and he's taking risks out there, and he's documented it on his YouTube. If you guys are interested in checking it out, check out his YouTube. Marlon's definitely a boomer here from day one, and he's taking risk out there, some that I'm not following him with, but I respect Marlon and his moves. So, you know, every man could do whatever they want. Chris Cantu says, kaboom, Marlon Jones, bulls on the block. Let me throw you a bomb out there, Marlon, and some fiat there from the ceiling. Thanks again for the gratuity. I appreciate you, Marlon. Original copy says 5K will be gone soon. Revolutionist says those miners will be feeling it. D-Rock says, unfortunately, he's a late boomer. Didn't get until November last year. But at highs and have watched the tank. I didn't get into this to be a day trader. I'm sticking around with the boomers. Yeah, I mean, if you believe in Bitcoin, you know, then you're going to stick around like everybody else that does. If not, you know, perhaps maybe it's not the time for some people to stick around. You know, right now, like I said, we're going to be separating the men from the mice out here because things could go lower and the crypto winter could last an entire year for that matter. You know, until people completely lose all the faith, and then perhaps maybe it'll go parabolic again. Chris Cantu says positive energy in here in the box. Always keep one in the chamber, crypto warriors. You know it, Chris. Welcome back. I haven't seen you in a while. Hope everything's doing good out there, Chris. Keep booming. Guys, check out Chris. We've had him here on some live streams in the past. Chris is out there in Southeast Asia, living in the alternative lifestyle, home free or whatnot. He's done a couple booming things, wrote a book or whatnot, and check out his channel. Derek McLean says, Litecoin is trash. Litecoin's only hope is if fiat dies forever, and that's a bad bet for our lifetime. Hey, you know, I find it hard to argue against Litecoin. It's trash out there. As much as I want it to be a good boomer, right now, you know, it's definitely a stinky hold out there, Derek. Marlon says, no problem, champ. Got a contest going where he's giving away free gin. Okay. We'd love to see you more in the chat box with the comments. I see you out there, Marlon. Indeed. Indeed. Thanks for the gratuity. And again, if you guys want to follow Marlon, he's out there doing his thing. You know, I haven't tested those coins, but perhaps he comes across a boomer. Let's see. Derek says, what's up, Chris? How's Thailand? Ariel says, this is not about being a warrior. By the contrary, it's about being a thinker and a realistic person. I believe that it's true that you should be a thinker and a realistic person. But for people thinking that it's not about being a warrior, the joke's on you. We're always in a war out here. And if you're not out here in the hero's journey trying to be the warrior, perhaps you shouldn't be in the box. out here. We only want crypto warriors out here that do think and are realistic, but warriors indeed. Revolutionist bought some Cardano at $1 on its way up to $1.30 and hodled all the way down. Damn, I learned the hard way, says a Revolutionist. I held them champ just as you held your lights. Yeah, I mean, I think all of us have that move that we regret at one point. You know, I regret holding the lights for such a long time. I mean, I've been holding the lights since the all-time high, and I even questioned dumping the lights at that point. And, you know, again, you can't win them all. You got to step on a few landmines out here and, you know, earn your stripes. I mean, everybody, if you're going to be in crypto for a long run, you're going to have to, like I said, step on a few landmines out here. But we're here for the long kaboom. Derek says, buy one coin for store of value, Bitcoin, one exchange coin, and one smart contract platform, and you'll be thanking me in 2020. 100% promises, says Derek McLean. I'm not completely against that train of thought out there. It's not that bad of advice, Derek. I'm not against it. I mean, we don't always agree, but that doesn't seem like horrible advice either. And should I say opinion out there, because, you know, Derek's not an advisor either. The Revolutionist says he's not a pro either, but he's learning the hardware, but learning nevertheless out there. And again, you know, this doesn't mean that it's over for Cardano. We don't know, you know, at this point. But we've said this for a while, you know, promises. Every coin has promises out there, and Cardano has some good ones. Let's just see if it actually ends up delivering. And right now, everybody's time is coming up. You know, they need to end up delivering now, or they're going to suffer. All right, guys, I think that's about it. We've been streaming for about 56 minutes. Again, I appreciate all you maniacs. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Revolutionist. Thanks, Lucian. Thanks, Marlon, for the fiat. I appreciate you. Thank you, Derek. Zion Chen. It's too crazy for the cash of Bitcoin price today, for the crash of Bitcoin. Okay, thank you for tuning in. And thanks for the rest of the boomers watching. Make sure you hit subscribe, like, post notifications. We're here every morning, okay, talking about the crypto markets. We will be here whether things go up or down. And then we're doing our ancillary second live streams every Friday where we talk about general self-improvement, crypto diet and exercise. And we have open discussions outside of crypto. We do that after the crypto morning broadcast on Fridays. You can go ahead and check out the replays. We've been talking about all kinds of things there as well. You know, during these crypto winters, during these crypto storms, we need to find ways to self-improve, become better crypto warriors out there. Make sure that you're lifting strong, eating correctly, and you're catching an overall positive vibe out there. All right, guys, I think I'm out of here. Shout out again to Copy, McLean, Tariq, Ahmed, Marlon, Impatient Potato, and the rest of the boomers. It's the voice of the blockchain here, Satoshi's biggest cousin, cryptography's finest, Champagne Crypto. Thanks for tuning in.